Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave division rivals stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, let's talk about what's really going on with the Browns and the NFL landscape. It's been a roller coaster this season, and while the team hasn't quite lived up to the expectations we all had at the start, there's a lot happening behind the scenes that could shape the future of Cleveland football. And trust me, if you're a Browns fan, you want to stay tuned because this story is far from over. First off, a lot of eyes are on Kevin Stefanski right now. He's been the head coach of the Browns since 2020, and while he's navigated some tough waters, his future with the team is suddenly more uncertain than ever. Over the last couple of seasons, things haven't gone the way we hoped. The 2024 season was particularly rough, finishing with a disappointing 3-14 record. And so far in 2025, they're sitting at 3-10, which is far from where we want to be. The question that's been floating around, especially in NFL circles, is whether Stefanski will be coaching Cleveland next season or if the organization might make a change. Now, it's important to understand that despite the struggles, Stefanski isn't just some coach who's on his last legs. In fact, many insiders believe he's a desirable name on the coaching market if he finds himself looking for a new job. ESPN's Dan Graziano recently spoke about Stefanski, calling him well-liked and well-regarded around the league, and suggesting that if Cleveland decides to part ways, he could very well land another head coaching gig somewhere else quite quickly. Graziano emphasized that in the NFL coaching cycle, good coaches tend to find opportunities, and Stefanski is no exception. He pointed out that Stefanski has been on the sidelines for the Browns since 2020, guiding Cleveland to a 43-54 record in the regular season. That might not sound stellar, but it's worth noting that Stefanski helped lead the Browns to 2 playoff appearances in 2020 and 2023. The 2020 playoff run was particularly historic because it marked Cleveland's first postseason appearance since 2002, more than 2 decades of drought finally broken. That achievement alone cements Stefanski's importance in the franchise's recent history. But as we all know, football can be a brutal sport of highs and lows. Right now, Cleveland's offense has been struggling mightily, averaging just 17.2 points per game in 2025. That puts them among the lowest-scoring teams in the league. Only 3 offenses are worse on a weekly basis. The lack of firepower has been a big issue, and it's clear that the team needs a spark, whether that's through personnel upgrades, scheme adjustments, or a change in leadership. Still, we have to consider the context. The Browns aren't exactly overflowing with elite talent on offense right now. The team's struggles aren't solely on coaching. They're also about execution and the personnel available. The quarterback situation has been a roller coaster, with Deshaun Watson trying to find his rhythm after returning from injury, but it's clear that the offense needs a reboot. Now, coming back to the coaching front, Graziano mentioned 2 teams currently with head coaching vacancies, the New York Giants and Tennessee Titans. But the reality is that more openings are expected to come up as the NFL offseason progresses. If Stefanski does become available, he's likely to be one of the hottest names on the market. His reputation as a coach who's good at developing players and managing tough situations makes him a prime candidate for teams looking for stability and leadership. The interesting part is that, despite the recent setbacks, the NFL community still views Stefanski as a promising coach. Many believe that if Cleveland decides to move on, Stefanski could jump right into another head coaching job, much like what happened with Andy Reid after his tenure with the Eagles. It's all about timing and opportunity, and right now, the Browns are at a crossroads. Will they stick with Stefanski and try to turn things around? Or will they decide that a fresh start is needed? That remains to be seen, but one thing is for sure. His name will be one to watch in the upcoming coaching cycle. For us Browns fans, it's a tough pill to swallow. We've seen some bright moments, like the playoff runs and the hope that Deshaun Watson can be the franchise QB we've been waiting for. But the reality is, this season has been an uphill battle. The offense hasn't clicked consistently, and the defense, while still talented, has been on the field too much, leading to fatigue and mistakes. The coaching staff's ability to adapt and develop the team will be under even more scrutiny as we head into the offseason, especially if some changes are made. But let's not forget, the Browns have a dedicated fan base that's passionate and resilient. We've been through droughts, rebuilds, and moments of disappointment, but our love for the team remains strong. This is a franchise with a rich history, and despite the recent struggles, there's always hope that brighter days are ahead. The draft, free agency, and the coaching carousel are all part of the NFL's rhythm, and Cleveland will be right in the thick of it. In the end, it's about how the Browns respond to this adversity. Will they stick with Stefanski and give him a chance to rebuild? Or will they look elsewhere for new leadership? Whatever happens, one thing's certain. The NFL landscape is always shifting, and Cleveland's future is still very much in their own hands. We as fans need to stay united, support our team through thick and thin, and keep the faith that better days are coming. Because the Browns are a proud franchise, and history has shown that resilience and determination can turn the tide. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news.